All right. Shema Yashala Yahweh Alahayinawa Yahweh Shema Yashala Yahweh Alahayinawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yashala Yahweh Alahayinawa Yahweh Achad Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Mahashon Hakadash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, I was a high spirit and loyal. All right, and today I just want to go into spirit, but there was a topic that we had amongst the brothers last night, and it was basically going into, enduring, all right, endurance, and just also having a mindset, all right, having a mindset to endure and do the works despite how you feel, all right. This is a very emotional oriented country, all right. We've been programmed, we've been conditioned, all right, to really be governed by how we feel in the society. And the difference between a hireling, all right, and a shepherd, all right, is that a shepherd is passionate about what he does. A hireling, he just a wage servant, all right. A shepherd is consistent and persistent. So we have to be instant, in season, out of season. And the reality of that, you're not gonna always feel like doing the works. And certain things that you learn in your journey in manhood, whether you was raised by your dad or maybe certain mentors taught you this, or things you have to come to a realization by yourself. All right, discipline, all right, is a means to do something regardless of how you feel. And I think one of the most powerful virtues in the universe is discipline, because you can't determine whether you do something based off how you feel. All right, you're not going to always be in the spirit to do certain things. You're never in the spirit to go to work. In a lot of cases, you are aware that you did not get an adequate amount of sleep to go to work, to get up in the morning and go to work, but you still go to work because you have to. Same thing with doing the works. Sometimes you might be sleepy, or you might be a little tired, or whatever it may have you, but you're not going to always be in that spirit. So one thing we got to learn as men, not just when it comes to the works, all right, but also in our everyday lives, man. All right, elevation really comes from discipline, man. All right. Sometimes you're going to want to eat fried chicken. Sometimes you're going to want to eat bullshit. But you know what happens when you eat bullshit? A lot of times it turns into a slippery slope. I know for me it does, at least. So discipline is really you practicing governing your mind. I think one of the highest form of self-mastery is that you govern your mind. You control the images that you have in your mind, and you understand the nature of your mind. All because this image pops up in your mind, that doesn't mean you have to act off that image. All because a sensation pops up in your mind and emotion, whether it's fear, anger, lust, even love. That doesn't mean you have to act on it. One of the highest form of manhood, at least is what I believe, is that you can govern your mind. If that's not a God level, I don't know what is, man. If you have governance over your mind, you have governance over your emotions, you have governance over your impulses. So you have governance over your lower nature, you have governance over your emotions, your feelings, and you have governance over your thoughts. You have governance over your initial reaction, your primitive reaction. If that's not a king, man, I don't know what is, man. And if it was easy, then we would all have power over our passions. We'll all have power over our passions, man. If it was that easy, and it's not that easy, man. But if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And one thing I've learned that you have to understand when Israel didn't manufacture low level niggas, man. Jerusalem culture, it manufactured princes. Like, this book is not really for the layman. It's not really just for the farmer or for the mechanic. It's for rulers. So the people you see around you, how they conduct themselves at work, the word wasn't for them, man. That's why most of your friends that you made an effort to made an effort to get them the truth, they couldn't accept it because there is levels to men. All right, there's levels to men. You are an elite, but if you're not an elite just because, you have the capacity. That's a big ass fucking possum. I almost ran over. What's that? An armadillo. Yeah, I almost ran over an armadillo. Weird ass shit, man. But it's a lot. One thing that makes you an elite, man, you have control over yourself. And we're gonna slip. We're gonna have simple moments and shit. But this part of being an elite is you have control over yourself, man. All right, you have control over yourself. You have control over your lower nature. You have control over your passions, your emotions. All right, you understand that the movies that play over your mind is not connected to reality. Like, we have a long ways to go, man, before we get saved. Even if all hell breaks loose tomorrow, man, we really not on point till we get saved, man. Because part of the mission was to overcome the chain of darkness. And the chain of darkness wasn't just, all right, the impulsive nature, man, like anger and lust. And yeah, that's part of it, but it's also the fear, it's also your passions, your emotions. All right, like, you know what I mean? It's also the movies that play in your mind. Can you study the movies that play in your mind and understand that this too is a mechanism of the flesh? So if that's the mechanism of the flesh, then what's the spirit? The spirit is the observer. Who's the one that's observing the movies that's playing over your mind? That's you. You are not you. All right? You are not your body. You are not your impulses. You are not your emotions. You are not the movies that play over your mind. You are the one that's conscious of the fact that it's playing over your mind. You are the one who's observing that movie. You are the one that's feeling that emotion. You are the one that has those instincts. Because when the Most High put you in these earth suits, these bodies, the bodies came with those very mechanisms that I just named. But it's you, the spirit, that's in that earth suit observing those things. So part of that spirit elevating, or part of your elevation, is you starting to have dominance over your spirit. You start to have dominance over your nature. See, the West has it all backwards. The West has you controlled by your nature. And here's everybody's on a very pagan, savage, instinct wavelength. All right, but you, all right, being that spirit, you practice dominance over that, man. I think one of the most powerful things that you can experience in your journey is understand that you could get something done regardless of how you feel. Once you get past that how I feel level, man, how I feel. So, I mean, that's pretty much the point. Hell, I'm pulling up at work now and stuff, but we got to start to have governance over our lives and start to make ourselves become men, start to practice manhood, started to understand these obstacles are meant for our development, understand that our experiences are meant for our development. All right? Because if it does not challenge you, it will not change you, man. And we have to be challenged. 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 We have to be challenged, man. All right? If we're not going through challenges, if you're not putting yourself through challenges, if you're not like making yourself work out consistently, that's a challenge. Making yourself change your diet, that's a challenge. Making yourself literally practice working on your character flaws, that's a challenge, and it's probably going to be scary. And I realize something. If you're not doing something that's outside your comfort zone, If you're not doing something that requires resistance, then you're not doing the right thing. And that's something that I apply to myself, and I've been applying to myself. If you're not doing something that's outside your comfort zone, and I'm not talking about doing some crazy shit in the flesh. I'm talking about something that'll make you a better man. All right, you know what I'm talking about? Don't get simple. Like, yeah, let me curse out my supervisor. Like, no. I mean, doing something that develops you but is outside your comfort zone is scary inside. If you're not doing something that's outside your comfort zone, if you're not doing something that requires self-control, you're probably not doing the right thing, man. You're probably on the wrong path. All right, but with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chakodash. I also want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba, Abba, come here, Shalom, Shalom.